we'll start off with IP, right? And I don't do sort of just play the slides because you just tend to read it. But today IP means so much more than just IP of a company. And so we work a lot with startups, right? Both on the investor side, on the startup side. So we've seen issues faced during diligence time, during incorporation time, during when funds want to put money into startups and all of that, right? So we're approaching it from that angle. Now today, does anyone want to give it a shot? What is the IP of a company? What could constitute IP of a company?
The trademark.
Absolutely, the brand, the logo, the trademark under which you sell or commercialize your goods or services. Absolutely.
Any copyrights.
Your copyright, but absolutely in the form of what could that be?
Patents.
So patents is a slightly separate type of IP. It's not under copyright, so you have broad types. So you have patent, trademark, copyright, then you have some design and GI and so on and so forth, which may be less relevant here, but patent is absolutely one. So what, for example, could be a copyright or a patent for that matter? What?
Technology.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for example, so now we need to understand that IP has its own set of laws, and again is treated very differently in India, say for example in the US. Now you spoke of technology, you spoke of patent, and gentlemen spoke of copyright, right? Now what could be protected under these buckets of rights or classified as patent, copyright, so on and so forth could differ from country to country. Now trademarks, I think we're all very clear on that a brand, could be that. But for a copyright, typically your software programs, your algorithms, your codes, right? That is protected under copyright law in India, right? Now just going to your patent question. Is it the same for patents as well? Like we often see that in the US, a lot of companies, Apple, so a lot of companies have patents, but is that the same in India? Do we see a lot of patents in India? Yeah, so software per se independently is not patentable in India, unlike in the US. So it's treated differently, right? So your software, your programs would fall under copyright. Now we'll get into whether you need to register, what you need to do, and all of that. But just to understand under what these could be classified as. So your patent then would be some kind of an industrial process, or some kind of a technology, a hardware coupled or working simultaneously with the software, but there has to be some kind of physical components to it, right? So there are certain criteria which is a slighter higher threshold for patents, as opposed to certain other countries. So we've read a brief, I think, description of what you guys are into and what you're dealing with, and primarily you'll have software-based products, right? Blockchain, AI. A lot of you are doing AI, data analytics in various industries, right? From waste management to fintech to different industries, but this is primarily your product offering, right? So this would primarily come under copyright protection in India, unless there are certain hardware elements or certain other elements under which you can file for a patent. So these are broadly your areas of IP which a company has. Now, just want to spend a minute here on why we even have this discussion, on why we even talking about IP, right? And most companies today, when I say companies, I mean overall entities, businesses, are unable, at least at a startup stage, to identify their IP, which is in essence their assets. And that stems to how you protect it, how you commercialize it, how you protect it from, how you protect your own rights in it, how you protect it from other people copying it or building off it, right? Because at the first stage, it's very, very difficult to identify it, right? So at a startup stage, something we always recommend is to, I'm so sorry. At a startup stage, it's very critical, to identify what the core IP of the company is, and then we get into how you can protect it, what you can do to register your rights in it, and to protect a competitor from then sort of copying, whether it's a brand, whether it's a similar program, whether it's content, or whatever it is, right? So this is general line on IP is essentially an intangible asset the company has. As I said, not everyone's in a position to identify it at the early stages, but it is very important to do so, and it is probably the most intangible asset of the company, right? And today you see with a lot of unicorns, a lot of global companies, the asset is the IP, the asset is the customer database. Valuations are based on these kind of things, right? Not really profitability or not really, physical assets or real estate, right? It is essentially the intangible software offering of a company.
Sorry.
Thanks. Now let's get into creation of the IP. Now we've understood, what is IP, what is important asset for the company, but please.
This is a discussion I hear in the industry. Like when we ask somebody to kind of file for a patent or whatever, they say like, hey, I have to disclose so much of information publicly because now once a patent is there, it is public. I would rather not file a patent because I don't want to give away this information to public, and I would rather keep it and then continue to grow business, and at a certain point I will decide to file a patent. So do you agree with that whole concept, and how companies are like, they feel that once they file the patent, they're actually disclosing a lot of information to public?
So why don't I pick that up? So I think this is an age-old debate which has been there, that should you file, just for the benefit of everybody, as our friend rightly pointed out, if you think that this is something which is subject to a patent, for example, the way the law across the world reads is that there are two stages. One is when you file a full patent, or second is you do something called as a provisional application. In both the cases, you need to describe the invention.
Yeah.
Now, what the invention is, that's a separate thing, but bottom line is that you need to describe the invention in a particular form, in a particular manner. And that is in public domain. And once you get the patent, it's something in public domain, because that whole specification is there in the public for people to uphold. Have you copied it for someone and all? So the issue which happens in those cases is that patent per se has a limited time protection. It's valid for 20 years. It is not renewable. So the question which comes is something which is so core to a particular business, like a business trade secret. One classic example is Coca-Cola, for example. They could have actually patented that entire process and all, but they have chosen not to, because it is a core trade secret. And they feel that if we do it in public domain, though we have the exclusive right to exploit it, but somewhere our competitors will make variations and all, and then end of the day we'll only have rights till 20 years, because you can't renew a patent. You have to again file. Like trademark and all these things, you can keep renewing. Your rights keep continuing in perpetuity. So actually, it is a call which organizations take, whether you should patent or whether you should not patent. Specifically in the industrial space, people mostly patent. In the tech space, it is again linked to valuation, because the more patents you have, if the item or the invention is subject to a patent, whether you may be granted a patent or not is secondary. But from a valuation perspective, when third parties come, you show, okay, I have a bouquet of patent applications, hence my value is high. We have many clients who actually got better valuations because they had gone and filed patents. If they would not have filed, probably the case would have been different. But so to summarize it, it depends on industry to industry, and it depends on what is your approach towards your product. And of course, it costs money. Patenting, if you're looking at globalizing and all, because again, patent, you need to remember, is a territorial right. That is a very important thing. Today, if you have a secret, say confidential information or a trade secret, you can protect it from the entire world. You don't, agar वहाँ किसने चोरी किया, you can always go and say you have stolen mine, irrespective of the jurisdiction. Patent is only limited to the territory of India. Unless you go and file for patents everywhere, there is a PCT application, a global application. So that is also a limitation. And then a lot of companies, especially Indian companies, they invariably look at the US. Okay, wow, yeah, US is my go-to market, or places in EU are my go-to market. Now they don't realize if they've registered a patent in India, the same exclusive rights to exploit that is not going to be available in the US or in EU unless you have filed and
in that country.
It is also, this is something which people don't realize, initially. But this is one big catch which kind of people lose out when they actually say, oh, we'll do business in US, we have a patent, but your patent is only in India. We don't need to file that.
The flip side actually is not filing in India and say running to the US and filing because Indian law will penalize you then. So there's a small concept saying that if it's patentable here, you need to first file a patent here before going and filing in
Oh,
the US.
really?
Otherwise, there could be
Based on where, it's on the place of invention actually.
Yeah.
correct. And yeah, so if it's invented here, don't go file in the US first. You need to first file in India. Otherwise, there could be some penalties. Yeah.